The Silver Staircase, Noah's journey above the clouds. Far from the hustle and bustle of the big world, in a valley where a giant rainbow always seemed to linger in the sky, lived a boy named Noah. Noah always carried a notebook and a pencil in his pocket. But he didn't write down what he saw, he only wrote down what he imagined when he looked up at the sky. To him, the clouds were like giant white islands floating in a sea of blue. I wonder, Noah would muse, who lives on those islands? Is walking on them as soft as stepping on a feather? The silver thread in the great climb. One Sunday morning, the sky was so bright that Noah couldn't take his eyes off it. While sitting under the ancient silver-leaf tree in his garden, he noticed a shimmering crystal thread hanging between the branches. This thread was washed in sunlight and seemed to be calling out to him. Noah climbed the silver-leaf tree. When he reached the very top branch, he realized the crystal thread was actually a delicate, transparent staircase stretching all the way to the heavens. His heart hammered in his chest with excitement, but his curiosity was much stronger than his fear. He took the first step. The steps felt as soft as cotton, yet as firm as a rock. As Noah climbed higher, his house turned into a tiny box and the river below became a thin silver ribbon. Finally, he poked his head through a thick white mist. He was above the clouds. Atlas, the architect of the sky. Walking on the clouds felt like stepping on the softest loaf of warm, freshly baked bread. As Noah looked around, a magnificent figure draped in a deep blue cloak appeared. This was Atlas, the guardian of the sky and the shaper of clouds. Atlas's eyes sparkled like the deep ocean, and tiny flecks of stardust fell from his long white beard. "Welcome, Noah," Atlas said. His voice was as deep as a roll of thunder but as soothing as a lullaby. "I have been waiting for you. Today, the winds are restless and indecisive. The shapes of my clouds have become all tangled. We must give them new shapes so the children below can keep dreaming." Noah asked in surprise, "Me? But I'm just a boy." Atlas smiled warmly. "The greatest architects in the world, Noah, are children who are not afraid to dream. Come, help me. Where dreams take shape." Atlas showed Noah how to touch the clouds. Noah gathered a large heap of cloud in his arms. He kneaded it just like Play-Doh, giving it grand wings, a long tail, and a noble pose. "This is a sky dragon," he exclaimed. The dragon shimmered for a moment and began to soar gracefully through the air. Next, he gathered more clouds and added towers and grand gates. "And this is the Star Castle," Noah said. Atlas was amazed by Noah's creativity. Together, they turned the sky into a giant storybook. They made giant ice cream cones, flying ships, and dancing giraffes. every shape they made would soon become a smile on the face of a child watching from below. Gus the grey cloud and the song of the rain. Suddenly, Atlas's face grew a little serious. "Noah, look," he said, pointing towards the horizon. There, standing apart from the others, was a dark, heavy-looking cloud. This was Gus, the rain cloud. Gus had gathered so much water inside him that he could hardly move. "Why is Gus so sad?" Noah asked. "Gus thinks he isn't loved because he is grey," Atlas sighed. "He believes people only like the white, fluffy clouds. He is afraid to let his rain fall. If he carries on like this, he might fall from the sky because of his own weight." Noah walked over to Gus. The grey cloud's surface felt cool and damp. Noah placed his small hands on Gus's giant frame. "Do you know, Gus?" Noah whispered. "The flowers in my garden wait for you every single day. If you don't come, the birds can't have their baths and the trees can't grow. Your color is the color of life itself." Hearing these words, Gus took a deep, shaky breath. The heavy burden inside him turned into a peaceful sense of relief. Slowly, and as if singing a song, Gus began to release his raindrops onto the earth below. As the rain fell, the sun peeked through, creating a magnificent halo of a rainbow around Gus. He was no longer just a grey cloud. He was the center of a festival of colors. The Stardust Feast. As the sun began to set, the sky shifted from orange to crimson, and then to a deep, velvety purple. Atlas prepared a special feast for Noah. On a glowing cloth spread over the clouds, there were sunlight slices that tasted like caramelized apples and moonlight sorbet that brought the sweetest dreams to those who tasted it. "The sky is much more beautiful today because of you," Atlas said. "Remember, Noah, the world may sometimes look grey, but every grey cloud hides a rainbow. It all depends on how you look at it." When it grew late and the first stars began to light up like tiny lamps, Atlas gave Noah a small, glowing blue stone. "This is a sky stone," he said. "Whenever you find it hard to dream, touch this stone and remember that we are always here." Noah began his descent down the silver staircase. With every step, he felt a little heavier, and slowly, the familiar scent of the silver leaf tree reached his nose. When he reached the ground, his feet touched the soft, cool grass of his garden. His mother called out from the kitchen window, "Noah! Dinner is getting cold, come inside now." Noah smiled, tucked the glowing stone into his pocket, and waved at the sky, at Atlas and at Gus, who now looked much lighter. "Coming, Mum," he shouted. "I was just helping my friends in the clouds." That night, as Noah lay in bed, he watched the moonlight streaming through his window. He knew now that clouds weren't just water vapor, they were the shared dreams of everyone. And whenever he wanted, the silver staircase would always be there, waiting in his imagination.